Words about books. Ben,
It's words about books, Nate.
you gave me shitty Philip K. Dick and his Man in the High Castle, and I'm over here giving you genuine presents from the heart.
Don't act like allowing you to talk about World War II for an hour and a half was not a gift to you.
I had to read a book by Philip K. Dick first, though.
There's give and take. You got to earn your gift.
Well, I'm going to earn my gift, Ben, because after you talk about this Mass Effect book, I'm going to drop a 700-page Mass Effect book on you after that, so...
I actually saw what you were reading.
Yeah, you did. I put it on Goodreads.
Yeah, and that does actually seem pretty interesting. So we are covering the first Mass Effect novel, Mass Effect Revelation.
It came out before the game.
Yeah, so this is like the first Mass Effect anything.
Yeah.
And it is by Drew Karpyshyn. I'm assuming that's how you say his name. He is, I guess, the chief writer, the head writer of the game.
Yeah,
writer of the game.
He was the head writer, I believe, of the first game. He had a co-writing credit on the second game, and then he was gone by the third game.
Probably a good time to go. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to talk about that the next book we talk about.
So I guess I'll tell you a little bit of my history with Mass Effect, and in lieu of and about the author, because I don't know anything about the guy. I am given something of a bad rap on this podcast as not being much of a gamer. And I do play games. It's just
you look like much more of a gamer than I do. I mean,
if you say so, buddy. Okay. But I'm wearing a collared shirt right now, you son of a bitch.
Like a hoodie. Come on.
With a hoodie over it. Because my sweater is elsewhere. I'm have a sweater.
I'm wearing gym clothes, my friend.
Did you come from the gym?
No.
That's a gamer. That's a gamer.
Yeah, but you'd never know it. How lean and trim I am.
But the thing is, I do have the physique of a gamer. I'll give you that. No, but the thing is, I have actually played all of the Mass Effect games all of the way through.
You know what's funny? I only played the first two.
I've played all of them. I actually don't hate it. I didn't even... Now, I know the third one is like famously bad. My only problem with the third one is it really demanded a fourth one. There's a lot of questions at the end of the third one that are just...
Well, hey, they have a fourth one, Ben. You can play that one.
Does that deal with any of the events of the... Yeah, that was my thing.
It takes place in a different galaxy.
Yeah, that was kind of my thing. I kind of wanted to know what happened after the fourth one, or after the third one. But yeah, I guess that's my only problem with it, is it just kind of is very anticlimactic. But I guess my second problem with it might be a little revealing, and that's I could not tell you anything about what happened in any of the games. I remember Martin Sheen was there for some reason.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I didn't hate him. I liked Martin Sheen.
I'm going to have a lot to say, but I'm going to hold it off for next episode. I'm going to try my best to focus on this book.
Are you familiar with Manslayer, the YouTube channel?
No.
He does a bunch of gamer poops. And he has a bunch of Mass Effect ones, and it always ends with Commander Shepard saying, "We'll bang, okay?" Like, he'll go through like this whole thing where like a woman is like, "You sold me to slavers," and blah 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 blah, and he's like, "We'll bang, okay?" And then that's mostly what I remember about Mass Effect is those YouTube things from this dude who probably no one has heard of. So that's something. And I'll tell you this guy's humor is a little edgy, so if he's done something terrible, I disavow, but the gamer poops are funny. Uh, so I don't hate this. I think I knew a little bit about it, and I figured as I read the book, it would come back to me. It did not. I did not remember what any of the alien species are called. I didn't remember any of the characters. It occurred to me about 75% of the way through the book that the characters in the book are actually characters from the game. Uh,
Oh boy, we're in trouble.
so I don't know why you would choose to name your two main characters Anderson and Sanders. That's confusing. But
Okay, that's fair.
but yeah, so here's the setup, right? Mass Effect is a game series set in the near-ish future of like 2100 or 2200.
2157 in this book, and I think the series is 67, 70.
So if am I editing this episode?
Do you want to?
I could, because I don't think you're going to know all the Ancient Aliens clips I want to pull for this.
Okay, in that case, I'll do the next episode because, obviously.
So the ancient astronaut hypothesis posits that long ago aliens visited humanity, and that's where we get the stories of our gods and myths or whatever other bullshit that Giorgio Tsoukalopoulos doesn't understand.
I sent this manuscript to 20 German publishers. No one was interested.
Is he the guy with the hair?
He's the guy with the hair who says aliens.
The only way the ancient astronaut theory can be disproven is when the extraterrestrials show up.
2183, by the way.
Yeah.
So this is 30 years before the first Mass Effect.
So humanity found we've made it to Mars in 2148, which is looking to be like a realistic timeline for that. And we have discovered ancient alien technology.
Hell yeah.
It turns out our solar system was previously inhabited by a race of mysterious creatures called the Protheans.
They actually abducted early humans and Neanderthals way back when.
We were building pyramids. Sumeria was created. All those different high achievements were done.
Do the Star Trek Next Generation thing, where as biology sort of caught up to sci-fi, and they started to understand a little bit about how life evolves and what life needs, and they started examining what astral bodies were actually like and how the conditions are so dissimilar from Earth that alien life would probably or could be vastly different. Star Trek The Next Generation, unfortunately, has all this lore where everybody's basically just a human, but with like different ear shapes.
Hey, sometimes they have ridges on their face.
Yeah, it's facial prosthetics we can do in about an hour before shooting is what aliens look like. And they get around that much in the same way Mass Effect gets around that. And that is, there was a progenitor species that influenced the genetic development of all the sentient races in the galaxy. And so we all sort of come from the same root. And that's why most aliens tend to have a head with a face and two arms and two legs. And we're almost identical except for ear shape. And Vulcans have green blood.
Could it be that they are not the remnants of a reptilian stage in human development, but instead reveal that humans once commingled with reptilian aliens? Ancient astronaut theorists say yes.
Yeah. And because it's Awesome. Having two arms and two legs, it's awesome. Have
Well,
you
so
seen a spider? I just want to smash them.
Commander, what's his? I don't even know what his rank is. Anderson,
Anderson.
War Hero
I think he's a
Anderson,
commander. He will be a captain by the first Mass Effect game, but he is this is 30 years before that.
leader of men Anderson.
Goddamn right.
Tends to subscribe to the theory that, much like the noble crab, there's just something about that two-legged, two-armed, face-having form that things just want to keep evolving into. It's just convergent evolution. It's just the right shape.
Obviously. Again, every time I see a spider, I just want to like smash it. But I think if that spider had two legs and two arms, it'd be much less smashable.
Do you?
There's only one way to find out for sure. Let's go.
Imagine a thing with two legs and two arms crawling up your wall, and it turns to you and looks at you with 8 eyes.
No. So it has to have 2 eyes.
Okay, so
it has to wave at me, and then we can like give each other the thumbs up.
And you're just gonna let that live in the corners of your house?
Hey, as long as it eats the bugs I hate.
Oh, you think that would be better if it ate it with its human? If it ate bugs with its human face?
Yeah.
This sounds better than a spider to you. This is just cuddly to you, right?
Yeah, I'll give him a little hat, you know? Put a little hat on.
Everything you say just makes it more horrifying. Like the closer it's infinitely approaching humanity, but just never quite getting there. And that's horrifying. Like that's a Junji Ito comic waiting to happen. Like I open your door and you're just living with a house full of these human spiders. Okay. Well, we're going to set that aside for the moment. So humanity, we discover this Prothean technology and we start spreading out through the solar system, and we eventually try to reach other stars, and we discover mass relays.
Yeah, it turns out that Charon or Charon, the moon of Pluto, is in fact not a moon, Ben, but a frozen mass relay.
And so, when we discover these mass relays, we sort of trip face first into an or a pan-galactic civilization of sentient
we gotta
races.
activate them, right? Obviously, we gotta just start powering these things up, see what they can do.
Well, they activate it and they send a probe through, and then they realize they can't talk to the probe once it's gone through. And then they send, I think, multiple probes through before they realize that's not going to work. And then somebody's just got to go through.
Let's do it.
Okay, and that's going to be the war hero of the Alliance, and his name is... Help me out here.
Admiral John Grissom.
John Grisham is like a James Patterson type, right? That's a novelist, right?
I think so. Yeah. Novelist and former Mississippi State representative. Okay. Interesting.
But this isn't that guy. This is Grissom, not Grisham.
Yeah.
So keep note of that. So John Grissom is like, screw it, I'll go through. I'll tell you what's on the other side. And he goes through. And he finds himself in a different solar system. And he comes back and he's like, a whole other solar system through there. And that just kicks off everything.
Fuck yeah, free land.
Yeah, it's free real estate, buddy.
And like, we got to open up more relays, right?
Yeah. And so there's just where humanity's just enjoying all this free real estate. But it's not like totally free real estate, because there's another alien species called the Turians, and they look like bug people. What's a Turian supposed to be?
They're supposed to be more avian.
Oh, they fucking missed that one.
They've got the little head feather things, but yes, I always saw them as more bug-like.
Well, they have like mouth parts like insects.
Yeah, they've got weird mouth parts like insects, but they've also got like
they have 4
weird
lips.
feather things on their head.
Well, if they had a beak, I'd think they were birds.
Well, they should have had a beak. Yeah, they're supposed to be more avian, but I am with you. I always saw them as more bug-like.
Okay, so unsurprisingly, we run into a race of sentient birds and we kick their ass. Okay, there's a whole big war.
That is the official story.
And
we kicked their ass.
Hey, I think we were doing better than we had any right to.
That is true. Actually, the final death count, it's like we lost 200, they lost 300. So now,
yeah, I guess it's more of like a riot than a war.
Yeah, they sent like a small fleet, and we sent our entire military against them, and like, I think the implication is they were gearing up to send in more and more fleets before the war was stopped, just in time for us to declare victory.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, when a galactic council steps in and is like, "Hey, sorry about the murdering. Let's have some peace."
Yeah, so that's the thing. There's more aliens, and they have formed a galactic council. And it turns out that there's actually this whole big thing, this big space station at like the center of all the mass relays or something.
The Citadel.
Yeah, and they rule from the Citadel, and humanity has been welcomed into the Citadel.
The entire mass relay network is centralized around the Citadel. It's a giant free energy space station that controls the whole network. So obviously, we got to set up our government there, right? I mean, free energy, massive space station that's just for free. No one's around to claim it. God, we got to take that, right?
Here's the catch. Every single one of these races, none of them know how any of this shit works. We've all been cheating off the Protheans. There is not a single sentient species in the galaxy that has managed to achieve this technology on their own, nor have they been able to reverse engineer it even a little.
Yes, and they have been here for thousands of years.
And it will not stop them from building their entire civilization on the backbone of something they do not understand, nor are they particularly curious about. It's not a very high priority to understand it. That's always been kind of the funny thing. Like my thing with Mass Effect,
humans are for Ben.
My thing with Mass Effect, it could be, hey, maybe that's what they're saying. Maybe that's a uniquely human thought. Maybe. But my thing with Mass Effect was it really doesn't want to be sci-fi. Maybe this is controversial, but anytime like it starts delving into the realm of speculative fiction where we actually have to wonder like, oh, what if this were real? Like, what if we found this alien technology? What if there were these mass relays? What kind of questions would we ask? How would that influence society? But Mass Effect's answer is not at all. You're just going to jump in head first and start making trade deals and running the economy and doing military stuff, colonizing worlds. You're going to do what you've been doing since the dawn of time. You're not going to worry. Right. You're going to worry about the fact that there once was an all-powerful alien race that just doesn't seem to be there anymore. There's no bodies.
There's no signs of a struggle, so nothing bad must have happened.
So where did they go? Are they coming back? Did something bad happen
or
to
something?
Them?
Who knows, man? So, all we know is they left behind a lot of really cool shit, and I want it.
Yeah. It's kind of like fantasy in that way. Like when you find
there is a point
when you find a cache of weapons from Gondolin.
The next book makes where it has to decide in the end does it want to be a sci-fi book, or does it want to be more of a, for lack of a better phrase, H.P. Lovecraft scenario where you're not supposed to reveal and make the big bad monsters relatable? But yeah, maybe that's a uniquely human trait. Who knows, Ben?
We're the only ones with a sense of anxiety. We're the only species in the galaxy that's like, but obviously something's going to come back and kill us, right?
Well, one of the things, and this is the reason the Turians opened fire on the humans, is we were just open up mass relays, just all casually, willy-nilly, no regard for what might be on the other side. And what happened a long, long time ago, back when Rome was still a thing.
Rome, October 27th, 312 AD. At the Milvian Bridge, on the north side of the city, deposed Emperor Constantine prepares to reclaim his throne from Maxentius. In the sky, he witnesses what he will later describe as a cross hovering above him. He interprets this vision as a sign from the Christian God. When they emerge victorious, Christianity becomes the official religion of the Roman Empire, and the world is changed forever. But was the cross-shaped object Constantine claimed to have seen in the sky really a sign from God? Or might it have been some other extraordinary force?
A Solarian, they're one of the council races. They open up a mass relay. They go to the other side. They look around. They're captured immediately by a race of bug monsters who reverse engineer his spaceship. And then they start pouring out of that mass relay and just kicking everybody's asses for hundreds of years, wiping out entire worlds. So, yeah, we're not curious about these mass relays, Ben, because the last time we were curious, we opened up a giant space bug monster nest.
Maybe you should have a guy waiting to close it.
That would be nice. But I don't even know if they know how to close it once it's activated. And nothing
ominous.
Seems to damage them. Our weapons have no effect on these mass relays. It's really weird.
Now, that's not what he says in the book.
Oh?
What he says in the book is that in order to damage the Citadel, it would take several warships firing at it for days.
There you go.
But he hints that they could be damaged.
So we could destroy a mass relay. We just need to get a whole fleet, and we just need to open fire on it nonstop without interruption for days.
Well,
so it's not indestructible. It's just like mostly indestructible.
Well, I mean, what are you supposed to do? Just not explore?
Yes.
So turn on a mass relay, don't turn on a mass relay. You know, you go somewhere where you don't know what's there. That's always a risk.
What if the Protheans were killed by bug monsters because they opened up a mass relay, Ben?
Well, do the bug monsters leave bodies and broken ships?
Oh, that's a good point. So I guess that's not what happened.
That's the creepiest thing about the Protheans is I would not immediately assume that something killed them. I would assume that they left and might come back and be upset to find me using their citadel.
After 1,000 years, we came back from the Andromeda Galaxy. What the fuck is this? What the fuck? Who are you people?
Yeah, kinda. I mean...
Oh my god, these are all those assholes we kept kidnapping and experimenting on when they were pre-evolved. All right, open fire, boys. Get them off our station.
Yeah, or they just, like, turn on all the mass relays at once and blow them up or something. Because they could just build more.
Yeah. But that's not... No one thinks that, Ben. They've had thousands of years to contemplate this, and they have decided Protheans aren't coming back. Probably.
So that's my thing. This is fine for a video game. Okay? If you want to have fantasy with a sci-fi aesthetic, I'm fine with that.
The great thing about the ancient alien theory is the fact that we can compare modern achievements with stories.
And I played all 3 games. I had fun. I didn't hate them. I did find the plot a little dumb. And this was a BioWare thing. And back in the day, BioWare's big claim to fame was like, your decisions matter.
Oh, yeah.
Except for the 3rd game where they don't matter at all.
Most people's thought after the 3rd game is, did I just kill everyone in the galaxy? Or like, what
that was kind of why it demands a 4th game, right?
Is everyone dead? I don't know what happened.
Yeah. You decide. No, so I never got super into the choice making aspect of it because I'll be honest, I rarely ever do like the evil option. Like if there's an option,
most people don't.
If there's an option that's clearly evil, just for the sake of being like, I don't want to play an asshole. So I always usually just sort of choose whatever I would do in real life. And I'm a pretty boring person in real life, kind of conflict avoidant. So I'm usually just like, yeah, I'll help you with your thing. Yeah, I'm sure I'm Commander Shepard, hero of the Alliance, but yeah, I'll deliver your bullshit from here to there. So the choices never mattered that much to me. I never got that into the story because I don't know. They don't seem to care. Like if I were the one making choices, these are the questions I want to ask. These are the topics I'd like to explore. I don't know how everybody isn't investigating the Protheans all the time. I don't know how that's not the only thing we do. But nobody gives a shit about that. And so then
some people do, but yeah.
Already it feels like the choice is out of my hands. I still have to play whatever dumb scenario this is. And instead we're worried about AI. That's also another thing they hand wave away right off the bat. AI research. Now this is back when AI actually only referred to like a truly sentient machine.
Yes.
And not like
they have two things to differentiate. They have VI, which is virtual intelligence. It's not really intelligent. And AI, which is fully sentient artificial intelligence.
If only we could come up with a similar distinction in our current world.
Yeah, but saying that it's a VI, it won't sell as well as if we say it's an AI. And you're far less likely to replace your sodium chloride with sodium bromide like a fucking idiot.
I don't know if you saw, but somebody wrote us, we get these emails. I think every book podcast does, no matter how small. We get these emails about people wanting to be a guest on a podcast to sell their indie book or whatever. And we don't really do that. We don't interview authors all that often. I think John Bierce is the only one we've ever interviewed. And so I don't know why they think we do that, but we get a bunch of these from like some poor soul who hires a indie book marketer. And the most recent one I got was obviously ChatGPT wrote this.
And someone paid money.
Someone paid money for somebody to send us this email. Let me see. I'll read you some of it because it's hilarious. Check this out. This is somebody who's definitely listened to the podcast. And if you're actually a fan of the podcast and you're not using ChatGPT, then you just go ahead and tell me that I said this in this episode. And I'll believe you. Hey, Ben and Nate. Your description from the Oblivion remake episode cracked me up. Only you two could turn a 2-month-old current topic into a 3 a.m. snack-fueled adventure. The chaotic
actually seems like they're making fun of us.
The chaotic
old topic, you fucking losers.
The chaotic, sleep-deprived energy you bring to late-night book chats is exactly the spirit I see in this person's work. After all, most of his novel was written above the clouds during cross-country flights which feels fitting given how many of your best takes sound like they were born sometime after midnight and an infomercial binge.
I feel like you're taking the piss out of me. Fuck
No,
you,
this is an
buddy.
actual email we've gotten. Yeah.
Fuck you.
Given your podcast's mix of bookish mischief and real literary curiosity, this person would have a blast chatting with you both about world building, his science day job, and the sometimes bizarre inspirations behind his stories. If you ever want to add a little space opera intrigue to your Sunday episode, he's ready to bring the snacks. Where's the snack thing coming from?
That's what I'm wondering too.
It's so weird.
Is this part of our podcast now?
I guess
we grab a snack and...
Why do they think we do this late at night?
Well, you are asleep some of the time, so
maybe that's the joke. Or maybe that's what ChatGPT is confused.
It's also released at midnight, so maybe they're like, "Oh my God."
I bet you're right. I bet the only thing this thing could scrape was like the description from the Oblivion episode, the release time. Oh my God, you're totally right.
And I guess we also do something with snacks. So like, you know how you pair a wine with your food. You're like, oh, we're gonna do that with snacks. Like this Oblivion book would go great with a bag of Cheetos.
I had a salad before we sat down to record this, you assholes.
Oh, we show up at 3 a.m. after all your guests have already gone home, bringing too much alcohol and snacks that you're absolutely going to be eating and drinking because we went through all this trouble, you jerk. It literally just took our description and that's where the snacks and the 3 a.m. come in.
Oh, God. Look, if you wrote this email, I hate you. I don't know what else to tell you. I couldn't be more embarrassed for you. And I'm sorry to this author who presumably paid this person. But anyway, that's the AI future we're living in. And that is not what they are afraid of in Mass Effect.
Now turn on that TV because we want to drunkenly watch infomercials while we hit on your obviously tired and pissed off girlfriend. I'm feeling lucky. This description was actually more fun than this book was at any point.
Oh my God, they literally just took the description and put it into ChatGPT.
The description.
That's why they picked an episode you edited, because I only ever do like a 1-sentence description. Oh man, I might actually write a nasty email back. I don't like this. Don't junk up my inbox with your ChatGPT bullshit. Anyway, I don't even remember what I was talking about. So
we were talking about AI in this world and how AI in Mass Effect world is actually impressive and can learn and can genocide your entire species if it gets out of control enough.
So AI is banned in the Mass Effect world. You're not allowed to research true general intelligence. Can you imagine such a thing? Naturally, humanity saw an option there. And it is funny because at one point the human counselor is like, we get caught, obviously. We get caught researching AI. And the human counselor is like, okay, well, look, everybody's obviously doing this in secret. And they're like, no. We all signed a thing that said we wouldn't do it. Who would sign a thing that said they wouldn't do something and then secretly do the thing? And the human counselor's like, I'm beginning to see my angle here. You guys are not long for this galaxy now that humanity's here.
See, they're not curious about the Protheans because we all agreed we're not going to open up any more mass relays and we're not going to learn any more about the Citadel because the Citadel has a bunch of keepers who keep the system, the station running, and that's all we need to know. If we mess around with the keepers, bad things happen, so just leave them alone.
There is the first in a series of white collar corporate offices that are raided. That's the inciting incident. So this business research center, I don't know, it gets raided and everybody gets killed, and this leader of men, David Anderson, I'm just going to call him Anderson from here on out.
God damn right.
He goes in with his squad to investigate what happened here, see if they can find any survivors, figure out what the attack was. And they go in there and they find out like there's a huge like underground complex. Like they were obviously doing some super secret, super important work here. And it seems like everybody is dead. Like to the man, everybody is dead. And when they get to the basement, they're not sure if there's anybody still in there, but then there are people still in there. They're mercenaries. And this is the first of a series of meticulously described gunfights. Now, this isn't as bad as like some of the meticulously described fights we talk about. They do keep it mostly to tactics. Like they don't describe every footstep and every like, and then I put the rifle to my shoulder and looked down through the scope and squeezed the trigger. It's not that bad, but there is a lot of like military fiction porn, I guess. I think it would help to enjoy this book if you're really into like that Tom Clancy style kind of fiction where they beat
real men.
Yeah, they beat the mercenary. Well, there's a woman there, but she's tall.
Yeah.
Like in that
is she taller than that one chick from The Expanse?
I think they're the same height. She's not nearly as Polynesian.
God. Okay. She's not nearly as Polynesian, and she's not
that guy's exact.
And
fetish.
she's not standing next to 8-foot tall women, and no one is talking about how tall that woman is.
No, and in fact, she has to be carried out of there. So,
oh shit!
But he can't princess carry her; she's too big. They're going to win, though. They're going to win this firefight because they are trained Alliance military men and women.
Goddamn right.
And
hoorah!
They are up against a hodgepodge of mercenary forces that are not disciplined. There are more of them, but they don't know how to work as a team. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Goddamn right.
Wait. They were luring us deeper in, and now they're going to blow up the whole place. Run, for the love of God, run. And then the giant lady gets shot in the leg. She can't run, but that's the one thing she needs to do right now. And so go without us. I'm Commander Anderson, and I am going to carry this giant lady. Now, she's giant, so it's going to be hard. And he's like, okay, let's go piggyback.
But when things are hard, you have to get harder.
You have to get harder. And so he's carrying her piggyback and they're like talking. But then stuff starts blowing up and she gets knocked out. And now he has to like get her into a fireman carry. And he told those guys, when it blows, you push the button and you get out of here, whether I'm there or not. But they didn't because no man left behind. And then they get into the elevator. And he's like, you sons of bitches, I don't know if I should court-martial you or recommend you for a medal.
So I'm doing both.
I'm doing both. I'm going to split the difference and say nothing. You'll get a cost of living raise. No, he commends them or whatever. And then this guy, Anderson, he gets back to the Citadel and he has an apartment on the Citadel, which did upset his wife, who does not live on the Citadel. And so they are super divorced.
Yeah.
You don't know how divorced this guy is, okay? He's really divorced, hit him pretty hard. I think he's got a kid. I don't know if they talk about that. I don't know. But, no, because if he did, Commander Shepard would definitely bang her.
Yeah.
So Yeah, he's super divorced. Keep that in your back pocket. Smash cut 2. There is actually a survivor. Callie Sanders is a scientist at this place. And just before the place blows up, she decided to leave to slowly make her way to the Citadel, I think. But she doesn't get there. She makes her way across the galaxy a little bit to report her superiors who are doing illegal research.
Oh my god.
And then she finds out that the whole thing got blown up, and she realizes they're going to suspect that she did it because she's technically AWOL right now. And then a guy comes up behind her, like, put your hands behind your back, whatever, police. And she does, and she gets handcuffed. But then she thinks about it for a second, and she's like, wait, this guy's not a cop. And
I
then
know every cop in the world.
she beats the shit out of him. Just
Yeah.
she breaks his nose, and then she kicks him in the groin, and then he falls to the ground, and she just starts kicking him and kicking him and kicking him. And I think she kills him.
You had it coming.
He goes for his gun, and she stomps on his hand, and then she just keeps kicking him in the face. And then she gets the keys, and she frees herself, and she's covered in blood now, and she's like, I gotta get out of here. And then she runs, and she's like, there's only one person in this world, like on this world, this literal planet, that I could turn to, and it's my father, John Grisham.
Oh my god, John Grisham is her father?
He mentioned having a daughter before. He's also super divorced.
Yeah, he is.
He's so divorced, he never even acknowledged her. He went to great lengths to scrub her from his record, but he's going to be a good dad for about the 10 minutes he's in the book. And then I think we cut to, there's this, I want to say, now it took me a long time to realize that the Turians and the Batarians are not the same thing.
Different people, yes. Batarians have 4 eyes.
Okay, now help me out.
And they aren't in the first game at all. They're in the Codex.
The gang leader is the guy who's leading these mercenaries. Is he a Batarian or a Turian?
He is a Batarian, but I don't think he's the leader. He's just hiring them.
Okay, so he hires them, and
What's
they
his
fight.
name? Idan Haddah. Haddah.
Idan Haddah. Yeah, I think that sounds familiar. So Idan is like, he hired the Blue Suns, who I assume are in the game.
They're in the second game.
And they were supposed to get everybody killed, and they were supposed to get Callie Sanders, but they fucked up. That one guy got kicked to death.
Some sloppy work.
It was. I'll be honest. I remember I was walking and I was listening to the audiobook, and she started kicking him to death and stomping on his fingers, and I was like, that's really not where I saw this going. I do remember thinking, like, wow, okay, I'm invested, because that you talk about subverting expectations. Wow. No, she just goes into full fight or flight, and her fight is like, wow, too much, too much. But yeah, so he hired the Blue Suns, and they did manage to handcuff her, but then she kicked them to death. So maybe we need to bring in bigger guns. I don't know. So
that's what he does, right?
Yeah, they hire a Krogan. Now, Krogans are the only cool aliens in Mass Effect. They're the only ones I remember, because they look like dinosaurs. I remember the Asari. I remember the Asari because they're hot blue ladies.
Yeah.
And I remember the Silurians, or was that what they're called?
No.
No, what's
Sounds like a
the
Doctor Who thing.
yeah? I think you're right.
Solarians.
Solarians.
The gecko guys.
Yeah,
Talk
well,
real
no, because they
fast.
look like flatworms.
Okay. I go with like a gecko thing, but yeah.
Let me see. What's this Solarian? Let me look it up.
While you do that, I'll talk about Krogans. Krogans are awesome. They look like dinosaurs. They have they're incredibly resistant to death. They've got like a bunch of backup organs. They're fucking huge. Sometimes they're biotics, which means they basically have the force, kind of.
You know, these dudes look 100% like flatworms. Have you ever seen a gecko?
Yeah.
They look nothing like a gecko.
I don't know. I've seen these guys blink.
That doesn't matter. Lots of things. I
I look at people in the eyes, Ben. I don't know where you're looking. Okay.
Look at their weird head tails and their big flat noses.
Yeah, the Krogan are awesome.
No, but the Krogans are awesome. So, like, I remember it is like a boy child's fantasy. There's hot blue ladies and dinosaurs. And that's who my team is. I'm not a complicated man. I don't know what to tell you. I want a dinosaur best friend and a hot blue girlfriend. So I also like they kind of run away from the sci-fi a little bit with the Asari. I just thought of that because I remember he describes the Asari when he gets to the Citadel. He goes to a bar or something, and there's an Asari dancer because they're all basically the same hot blue lady.
Yeah.
And the thing with the Asari is that it's an all-female species.
Yeah, it is.
And they all look like hot ladies. Like,
yeah, they do.
Figure eight bodies and pretty faces, and they're the oldest and wisest, and like they have all these like amazing qualities. Like they're basically the Vulcans of this.
They are all biotics. All of them can use space magic, basically.
Yeah,
and they can all live up to 1,000 years old.
But also, and this is the thing that makes me laugh.
Also, they're really hot.
This is the thing that makes me laugh. Is like, so they're 1,000-year-old psychic geniuses, and they want to strip for you.
Hell yeah!
They're always dancers, or oh, and also I think there was something in one of the games about how like they're all women. How do they mate? And it's like, well, they can mate within their own species, but they can also mate with like any species.
They can mate with any species.
Because of course they can.
It always produces an Asari, but they take some genetic traits from the other species as well.
So they're like super smart, super powerful, super sexual.
Yeah.
It really is like
This sounds pretty awesome.
Like a teenage boy's fantasy. Like,
I remember when Fox News, and I guess others, but mostly Fox News, someone went on there saying that you can have like hardcore graphic sex in the first game, and it led to all this outrage. It fades to black.
Let's be real. It led to all this outrage. It led to like a bunch of conservative guys going out and buying Mass Effect.
Yeah, you can see more skin on primetime television.
Do you remember God of War when that one first came out and you had to do the mini game?
Yeah,
that was ridiculous.
I never played it, but I know about it, Ben.
Oh man, what a time to be alive! Now there's Baldur's Gate, and you can just pick your dong. We played Baldur's Gate, and I made him. I was like, "Do not forget to select which.
You have to select which dick."
Yeah, and you left, and you're like, "Why would you want to do that?" And then you're like, "Oh, circumcised." Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it matters. You think it's going to affect how I play this character. Get good, BioWare. So I totally forgot what we're talking about.
Let's see. We hired a Krogan, the Batarian guy did, to go get Callie.
Yeah. Okay. So now there's a giant Krogan psychic on their ass. And Anderson, he's super divorced. And so the human senator for the Citadel is like, hey, you're super divorced. I know career is the only thing that matters to you right now. What if I told you, like, I know you're a big spaceship commander, right? You command spaceships. You tell people where to go. Sometimes you lead ground teams. You're a spy now.
Hell yeah.
You're a James Bond secret agent. You're going to go find Callie Sanders and you're going to bring her back home. And maybe we're going to arrest her. I don't know. By the way, watch the feet. I hear she's got powerful legs. And she has at least one guy's gun now. So he does that. But then there's also specters. Now, specters are the genius invention of the council.
Yeah.
What if we took our most violent cops and gave them unlimited budget and no rules and no direction to investigate whatever the fuck they want, however the fuck they want, and they can kill anyone they want?
That sounds awesome. Sounds like the character I want to play in my video game.
That's why it exists.
Yeah. Unlimited power and no accountability is sweet. Give me some of that.
And there's this Turian named
Saren.
Saren? Like the gas.
Like the gas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's this Turian named Saren, and he's a specter, and he hates humans. Because his brother was one... What are the odds of this, by the way?
Yeah, his brother is one of the 200 Turians that died in the war against humans.
There's literally trillions of these people. I feel like the First Contact War should be bigger. It feels like it's bigger.
It was only 2 battles.
It feels like it's bigger. Like it doesn't even feel like a battle's worth of death.
Yeah. And yet, here we are.
But whatever. So he is also trying to figure out what was going on in this lab. And so that's fun. Now I'm trying to remember. This is where things are going to get a little iffy for me. I think the next thing that happens is that Anderson tracks Callie to John Grisham's house, and then the Krogan tracks Callie to John Grisham's house, and then Saren tracks Callie to John Grisham's house.
Yes.
And
they all meet up, I remember.
Yeah. So the Krogan busts in the door and starts trying to kill Callie and her father. And then Anderson runs in and he's like, "Don't worry, I'll save you." And then he starts getting beaten up.
He gets the shit kicked out of him by an angry dinosaur with magic space powers. Yes.
And then Saren comes in, shoots the space dinosaur, and the space dinosaur is like, "No," and then runs out and jumps through a window or something and gets away. And then Saren's like, "Okay, everybody's going to start talking or I'm going to start killing. I can do that."
Saren, that is how Saren be.
And they tell him a line about they're like, "Oh, what were you researching in that place?" And they're like, "We were trying to create a human biotic." And he's like, "Okay, how far did you get with that?" And she's like, "Oh, pretty far. I'm going to say 75%
They
of the way."
should have said we were researching the Protheans in that lab.
And then he would have been bored
really
and walked
curious
away.
why no one else is doing this.
Well, the Protheans, I think there's going to be some alien artifact comes into play. But they're like, she's like, "Yeah, we were super close to getting a working human. we'd kidnapped all these orphans, but then we replaced them with clones so that the parents wouldn't suspect anything, and then we put them through this rigorous training and injected them with this stuff. But it just kept making Halo soldiers.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sure sounds like Halo.
And then he goes away, but then later at the spaceport realizes that's the plot of Halo, and he has been tricked. But yeah, so Anderson's like, we got to get Callie out of here, and John Grisham's like, I know a guy. I will not explain how. Never explains how. So he knows a hacker kid, and they change Callie's appearance. This is a fun thing they don't let you do in the game, I think.
You can change Shepard's appearance.
You could change his skin color?
I think so.
Wow, okay. I didn't know they let you do that.
I think so.
She can change her skin color. Little problematic. I guess humanity's evolved beyond that.
Yeah, Ben. Everyone can be Rachel Dolezal.
People can be all kinds of weird colors in Mass Effect, like orange. And
I want to be blue, so I can blend in with all the hot mommies.
You think you think you'll blend in? So they escape, and then there's there's another corporate place that gets attacked.
Yeah, there's another one. You're right.
Somebody's smuggling something out of somewhere. I forget what this has to do with the plot, but there's a Batarian lady. I'll tell you. Here's where it matters, because I totally forgotten who Saren was, which put me in exactly the mind state you were supposed to be in reading this book, because it's supposed to be before you played the game. For me, it was like I'd never played the game. And I didn't know if I'm supposed to like this guy. And in fact, I thought until I want to say actually after this point, for a long time, I thought he was Garrick.
Oh, yeah.
The good one?
Garrus. I think I called him Garrick in the Discord as well. Very similar names.
Yeah. So I thought he was Garrus. I thought he was the guy that you work with. But no, he's like Space Hitler, the Saren guy.
Something like that, yeah.
And so he's
the villain of the first game.
This Batarian lady, she is going to let the attackers in, but she doesn't know they're going to attack quite this hard. And they blow up the whole place, and she manages to survive because she's kind of crawling away before the explosion happens, but it like blows off her legs.
Yeah, it fucks her up. I remember this.
She's blinded in all four of her eyes. She's got 3rd-degree burns all over her body, and she's in this like advanced medical ward, and like this is the state she's in. She's being kept alive by machines. They're using their advanced medical technology currently to regrow her organs. But they're not sure that she's going to survive basically in every major organ transplant. So they're also like not bothering to fit her for prosthetic limbs right this second. They don't know if she's going to be, running that marathon next week. And Saren shows up and he's like, I need to talk to her. And they're like, you can't talk to her. She's in a medically induced coma because her lungs are burned. Her lungs have 3rd-degree burns. And
it's like, I don't see how that's my problem.
He's like, give me the thing, give me the wake up juice, and give me the sleep juice, and I promise I'll put her back to sleep when I'm done if she survives.
Yeah, he'll put her to sleep. Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, he gives her the wake up juice, and he's like, I don't even remember what he was asking her. It really doesn't seem like it was this important that he had to do this. But he's basically like, where are the drugs going?
Where are the drugs? Swear to me.
I don't know. She's choking it out, and she's coughing up lung. And they're like, he's like, but what were they working on? And it gives him some clue to like, They're
I
working
think she
on.
gives him the name.
Yeah,
Idan Haddah.
yeah, she knows it's Adon Haddah who's arranging all this, and she's like, "There, I told you," and he's like, "Yep, yep, you sure did. I need to think about this. What was I going to get at the grocery store?" And she's like choking. He's got the sleeping juice in his hand, and he's like, "I feel like I needed milk, and I think I needed eggs, and I don't know how we're doing on cereal. Might as well get some." And I was thinking, like, it might be good to do a roast this week. Are you done? I'm trying to think. Oh, good, she's dead. And then he finally puts the go back to sleep juice in, and he walks out, and he's like, she didn't make it. And I was like, oh, I don't remember him being that mean in the game. That was literally my. Because I thought he was.
You thought it was Garrus just murdering people like an asshole.
I was like, I don't remember him being that mean. I thought he was kind of cool. Whoops. But it turns out it's okay. It's not Garrus. It's Saren. And he finds out that the humans were working on advanced AI or whatever. They're trying to get Callie off world. I'm going to skip ahead. I'm going to skip around a little. So it turns out that the lead scientist of Callie's corporate thing that got raided is actually an advanced artificial intelligence scientist. And he's discovered some alien artifacts, older than Prothean artifacts, that if he plugs his computer into it, it makes magical AI. And also it makes him crazy. And it makes all his researchers crazy. But he's trying to keep the project going, and he knew Callie was going to report him and get him shut down. So he arranged to have everybody killed and have himself be extracted so he could continue his research. And Saren's really into that. And he doesn't seem to want anybody to know just how into that he is. But then this doctor guy realizes that Callie Sanders survived, and he's like, I need better assistance. And I need you to take Callie Sanders alive. And then the Krogan's like, oh, Jesus Christ. Fine. But my price just doubled for the third time. And
deal. You're not going to be surviving to use that money, so
yeah. And the Batarians, like, he's always trying to get the better of a deal. I get the vibe the Batarians are good at deals. That's something you're supposed to take away from this, I guess.
There's they went to war with humanity. It was an unofficial war, and we beat their fucking asses so hard they quit the Citadel and retreated into Batarian space. And then they just keep funneling money to pirate groups to fuck with us.
Well, it's a strategy, I suppose. But what do they do then? So he wants to take Callie alive. And then Anderson's like, I wonder if I'm falling in love with Callie. And you're like, what?
What?
Where did that come from? He's like, it's been 5 minutes since I've seen a woman. He says, I haven't been with a woman since the divorce, but like his divorce was finalized like a week ago.
Yeah.
So it's like,
it's a long time.
Take some time to be alone, man.
No,
Figure
man.
yourself out. Figure out how
How long have you been without the touch of a woman? Exactly. Get you some.
I would love to say never more than a week, but it's been significantly longer sometimes. Yeah, no, I wish I had that kind of game, but no. So he's like, we're gonna get you off world, and I got to go back to the council and tell him all this stuff. He tells the counselor that, like, hey, they know about the AI. And she's like, oh, that explains that 3:30 meeting request I got. And don't worry, I'll figure something out. Well, actually, worry a little because you kind of fucked me here, but I'll still figure something out. But be worried. I want you to feel dread. And he's like, all I can feel is unrequited love. I didn't know I could love again after I forget my ex-wife's name. My only comfort is that the Citadel is way out of the jurisdiction of anyone who can charge me alimony. So the ambassador goes in front of the council, and the council's like, so you're researching illegal AIs, are you? She's like, everybody's doing this. Obviously, everybody's doing this. And they're like, no, we would never. We honestly aren't doing that. Every treaty we sign that says we're not going to design weapons that are not supposed to be designed, we don't design. We don't have chemical weapons. We don't have nuclear weapons. We don't have advanced AI. We do not design weapons of mass destruction. And then the human senator's like, interesting point you're making. And they're like, yes, so we're going to put crazy sanctions on you. So many crazy sanctions on you. You're going to be set back hundreds of years in your economy. She's like, counterpoint, we'll nuke you. We have been developing all of those things this whole time. Like 100%.
And we've just been using it on each other. Imagine what we can do now that we've got real aliens.
Yeah, no, in fact, we could just get all of Earth's chemical weapons, and that's probably going to take the Citadel down. No, we're definitely, they're like, well, you think you could take on all of us? It's like, no, but I think I could kill a lot of you. I think I could make you not want this. That's another thing we do on Earth sometimes. So yeah, your move, nerd. And they're like, well, what do you think your punishment should be?
I do remember it is something like that. She's like, no, I don't accept this. Come up with a better punishment.
And they're like, well, what do you think your punishment should be? And she's like, we would accept highly specific sanctions. You can sanction not coffee. I like that. You can sanction decaf only. You can sanction what are those umbrellas they put in drinks? You can sanction that. And I don't know, we'll throw in like the Asari sex toys. You can sanction that. That one's gonna hurt.
Hurts me.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to make the sacrifice for the
But we got to make it look like we're suffering here. So. And they're like, okay, we'll do that then. She's like, that's a really good choice for you. And she walks out of the meeting and she's like, wow, we're going to run this galaxy. I don't even know if we need a seat on the council. Maybe it's better if we're not. And then I'm trying to think what they do. They get all the dude's data or whatever from Callie. And she goes back to the council and she's like, hey, I'm feeling generous today. I am sharing with you all the research we did on AI so that we can all benefit from it. And all I want in return is for you to let Anderson become one of your extra legal specters.
Yeah, we don't have any human specters. It's time we get someone with unlimited power and no oversight.
I would like someone with unlimited access to the Citadel and your bedrooms who also is allowed to kill whoever they want. And you guys are just like fucking pushovers. So what are the odds we're going to be able to do that? And they're like, they come to an agreement where Saren will evaluate Anderson. And she's like, Anderson, This is your shot at redemption. Don't fuck this up, okay? Impress that Saren guy.
Spoilers, Commander Shepard is the first ever human Spectre in the first game, so, you know. Anyway, let's go.
And he's like, okay, I won't let you down. And then he meets Saren, and he tries to tackle him, and Saren beats the shit out of him. And
I don't remember that, but I could see Saren.
He's like, you used Callie as bait, because Callie gets captured. She doesn't make it off world. She gets captured because Saren like leaked her location so that they'd capture her and he could follow him. And he's like, you used Callie as bait, you son of a bitch. And he tries to punch him. And Saren just grabs his arm, twists him behind his back, and like bashes his face off a table. And he's like, are you gonna be cool now, or are you gonna be stupid? He's like, I'll be cool now. He sits back down and he's like, so what's the plan? And he tells him the plan, like, we're gonna go in there, we're gonna blow up the place. He's like, we can't, Callie's in there and I love her. And he's like, I don't care. I've never cared. I don't care.
Never cared. If anything, that just makes this better because I hate humans.
Yeah,
So if you die with love in your heart, even better for me.
He's like, give me 30 minutes in this third corporate location.
Well, this time it's like a refinery, right?
Yeah, but it's a refinery where like people live and work. I guess it's a factory. This is a blue collar location. Okay.
Yeah. But it is another like office basically.
Yeah.
With refinery attached.
And the evil scientist is trying to recruit Callie to the dark side or whatever. They're trying to research this alien artifact or whatever. And Anderson's like, give me 30 minutes. I know you don't even want me on this mission, so just give me 30 minutes to try to get Callie out. And then if I don't get Callie out, you can blow the whole thing up. He's like, okay, sure. And he gives Anderson 30 minutes. Anderson barely gets to Callie. And then after 30 minutes are up, he flicks a cigarette away, Saren does. And he walks in with his gun loaded and he just starts killing people. And he starts blowing shit up. The Krogan shows up again. I think he fights Anderson and Callie. And
yeah,
I don't remember exactly what happens, but let's just say Callie kicks him to death. And then
fine, might as well.
And then Saren meets with the doctor and Idan Hada. And he's like, the doctor's like, you need me to work on this. I'm the only one who knows this stuff. It would take you years to catch up to where I am. And then Saren shoots him in the face and says, I've got time. And then he looks at Idan and he's like, okay, what do you got for me? He's like, I could be your money man. He's like, I don't need money. He's like, what else you got? And he's like, I can get you. He shoots him too. And he takes the secret research and he goes back to his car and he sees that Anderson and Callie are like limping towards the car and he's like, shit. And Anderson's looking at him and he's like, I feel like this guy's thinking about killing me. And Saren's like, should I kill him? And they stare for a moment and Saren's like, get in the fucking car. And Anderson gets in the car with Callie and they drive away. And Anderson goes to the Citadel to meet with the counselor again. And he's like, so, did I get the job? And the counselor's like, no, Saren said you were a huge fuck up. And you're emotional and you show poor judgment and you get beaten up a lot. Just like a lot.
Yeah. I think he also pins the explosion on him too, but like, yeah, I mean, even without that, you did get your ass beat a lot.
He's like, well, that's hard to hear. but at least I'll always have you, Callie. Callie's like, ooh, about that. I actually took a job on the other side of the galaxy. And he's like, oh, where? And she's like, can't tell you. Bye. And he's like, Anderson, alone again. And then it cuts to Saren sitting there, like, stewing in his lair. And he's like, yes. So I have the alien artifact and I have the data. I'm going to need labs and people. And I'm going to need people to work with the alien artifact because obviously this alien artifact drives people insane. And I don't want to be driven insane. I'm just insane enough. So I'll work through intermediaries and I'll do this. And he details a bunch of his evil plan. And it's at this point I realized he was the bad guy
This is
from the first game. But I didn't remember what he did in the first game. So I'm going to be real with you. I'm walking, right? And I'm listening to the audiobook and it ends there. That's just where it ends. But then the preview for the next book starts playing. And I was like, well, yeah, I got to finish walking home. So I'm listening to the preview for the next book. And it starts with, after Saren's attack on the Citadel with bodies floating everywhere and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh my God, that's what happened. That's what happened in the first game. And so then I kind of remembered because I remember Shepard like blows up or something, right? And Martin Sheen has to put him back together again.
Oh God, don't get me started, Ben. That's for next week. But that's at the beginning of the second game. Shepard blows up.
Oh, whoops.
and then maybe does some atmospheric re-entry, and then maybe collides with a planetary body.
I forgot. Yes, I'm remembering this now. Like they put him back together from atoms.
Exactly. The book I'm reading for next time is like, there's nothing left to work with. He's atomized. There's nothing left of his body.
Well, draw him from memory.
Yeah, I remember. So the Doctor is very clearly crazy, but Idan also is realizing, like, it's really weird. I'm focusing a lot on this alien artifact after I went and visited it last month. Like, I'm putting a lot of resources towards it. This is weird, right? It's weird.
I broke my rule about never working with humans because I hate them.
It's weird, right? It's weird. And then he gets shot in the face. So, craziness over. And yeah, I think Saren knows what the artifact is. It's like a gigantic spaceship or a super weapon of some kind. But obviously it fucks with your mind, so got to find a way to get rid of that mind fuckery so that we can use this weapon to destroy humanity.
Yeah.
That's
why he attacks the Citadel.
Yeah.
Seed of humanity.
Oh, I mean, you know what it's about, right?
I don't remember anything.
Oh man, next week I'll go over it in great detail for why Saren does what he's doing.
You know, I'm not going to let you make this a thing. This is only for the Christmas episodes where you get like a secret second episode that has nothing to do with books. You just want to talk about the thing you're obsessed with.
Books.
With
I'm reading an 800-page book.
All right.
So you want to rubric this one, Ben?
Yeah. Are you going to rubric or just me?
Yeah, sure. I'll rubric it. I didn't read it. I read it in 2009 while I was in a geology class where Jamie the Gravy Man was also there. We didn't even plan that. We just happened to be in the same class together.
I've never taken a geology class.
Yeah, I didn't want to.
Sorry, John.
He curbed our grades up hardcore because no one likes any of anything that he had to offer. I think every test was a whole 1 or 2 letter grades curved up.
On what do you? Is it just like what's
The
this
highest
rock?
scorer of the class got an 80%. Therefore, we are curving everyone's scores 20%.
In a geology class,
In
like
a
an intro to geology
104 class. Yes.
I took differential equations and it wasn't curved to that extent. Our tests in differential equations, 2 questions. And most people didn't finish.
Yeah, I've heard of those.
Yeah.
Was it 2 questions, but each question had like 20 parts?
Well,
like
no,
1A,
it's just you
1B, 1C, 1D. Oh.
No, it's just one problem and you just have to like show your work.
That sounds awful.
No,
my grade, daddy.
It was the fun thing was with our differential equations class, we had this super Russian professor. His name was Boris. And he would always talk about your American Coca-Cola. He literally like full accent. He's like, your American Coca-Cola and your Pittsburgh Steelers and your blah, blah, blah. And he let us he just walked out of the room during the test.
What are you going to do? You want to cheat? Good luck, idiot.
You could use anything but somebody else's paper. You can use your phone, you can use your book, you can use whatever. Because if you needed it at this point, you're fucked. You don't have time to look it up. You either know how to do this problem or you don't. It's going to take every minute you have to do the problem. I think I got a B.
I got an A in my geology class, Ben.
I could not tell you how to do any of those problems today. The other one that fucked people up was linear algebra, but that one was pretty easy.
Yeah, I just took college algebra and I moved on with my life. I got my credit.
I have a math minor. Now I talk about books. Okay, so content and ideas. Speaking of my math minor.
What are you thinking, Ben?
So I haven't talked about it on the episode yet. I've mentioned this a little bit in a couple of private conversations, but it's very... I'm not surprised it was written by the game designer or the game writer, because it feels very much like reading the background plot in a D&D module. Like, this story is very much waiting for its main character. None of these people have any kind of main character energy. There really is no protagonist. Anderson is a really weak protagonist.
Yeah, because he's just there to be your commander in the first mission of the game and then relieve his ship to you.
So I'm kind of at a point where I'm like, do I judge this? Let me ask you, because I think you're probably more favorable to the book than I am.
Yeah, I am. It's my favorite Mass Effect book. Low bar, I know.
Do I judge this for what it is, which is sort of an intro to the game, or do I judge this as a novel?
I would probably an intro to the game, because what this is doing is it's trying to give you some backstory, get you involved in the lore, and then you're going to go buy the game next week.
I was going to say, because it really, content and ideas, it's a 2 by definition, because nothing that is introduced is developed, but it's supposed to be developed in the game. Like, that's very much by design. So I think...
Yeah, I'm willing to give it a 3.
I would go for a 3. Yeah. Well, no, I think I would go for a 3, because that is what it wants to be. It wants to be an intro to the game. I think it's fair to judge it accordingly.
Organization, that might be hard, because I remember the pacing. It was real quick to breeze through. So I would almost say a 4, but I also read it in 2009. So it's been a
while. I'm at a 3. I'm just not overly impressed with it. I think the problem is, like, it's quick, but there's also like way too many perspectives. Like, there's just so much going on that it kind of gets in the way of telling. What would you say what's the plot?
The plot?
I guess it's get the thing, which they don't do. Like, the good guys don't do it.
The good guys aren't even really aware of its existence all that much.
That's my thing. Like, it's just kind of
The plot
background.
is to get Callie to safety, and in the process stop this organized criminal gang.
But Callie's whole motivation is just sort of like forgotten.
Yeah, I mean, after she kicked a man to death, she had to rethink her priorities, you know?
You can give it a 4 if you want to give it a 4. I'm giving it a 3.
I am giving it a 4, Ben. But I will give it a 3 for use of language because I don't recall there being any fantastical uses of language.
No, it's 3.
Personal preference, Ben.
3.
Curious, yeah.
This is a very 3 book for me.
I'm gonna give it a 4.
Okay,
But again, I love that first Mass Effect game. Recommendation strength. I'm guessing you're giving that a 3.
I'm between a 3 and a 2. Help me out here. What's the genre?
Mass Effect fans.
If we can say the genre is Mass Effect fans, I will go 3 across the board. 55.
I will go with a 3 for recommendation strength. I will give it 63.
All right. I think I rounded that up to 3 stars.
Yeah, you did. I think I gave it 4 stars, and then the sequel 3 stars, and then the sequel that 2 stars, and then I heard that final book is a 1-star shit show. But I'll talk about all that next time, Ben. So, how do you want? Do you want to plug the patrons and post, or do you want to do it now?
Since I'm editing it, I'll plug them right now and just save myself the extra effort. In no particular order, I would like to shout out Jamie, the Gravy Man, who once shared a geology class with Nate. You can find him on the If You Want the Gravy blog, where he reviews everything. And though he was not in this particular geology class, lover of rocks, John Bierce, actual author of The Mage Errant, The Rack, and The City That Would Eat the World of the More Gods Than Stars series. I do not know his geology background, but Isekai Sensei-sama of the That Time I Got Reincarnated in the Same World as an Anime Podcaster podcast, and quite confident has never taken a geology class. Spooky Shy with a Y over on TikTok. Have I missed anyone?
Nope, that would be everyone.
Then with that, I guess look forward to next week where we talk about an 800. Do you want to preview this book, what it is?
Mess Effect by Seamus Young. I believe. Actually, I shouldn't say I believe because I know, because I read the original posts on his website way back when that he then edited and formatted for a book. And it is the dissection of the Mass Effect series and where it went wrong. And spoilers, it's not right at the end. That was just the those were the symptoms of the underlying disease.
So we're going to do a meta-analysis of a meta-analysis of a video game.
Yep.
It's not even Nate's Nightmare November yet.